Hello, I'm Dr. Jeanette Raymond, psychologist, psychotherapist, and relationship expert, here with part 5 of my series on triangular relationships and how messy they are. And today I'm going to talk to you about the most famous of all, the most well-known of all, a man with 2 women in his life. It's usually he's married to one and he has a mistress, or he could have 2 mistresses and not be married, or he could be divorced and having 2 women, but it's usually one man and 2 women. And that triangle is very common because it serves so many purposes, not just for the man, but for the women as well. So let's take the man first. What's it doing for him? What are the tensions it's creating? Why does he need 2? Why would one not be okay? Why doesn't he have one and doesn't like her anymore, move on to the other? Why can't he be a serial lover instead of having 1 or 2 at the same time? The answer is because it makes him feel powerful and wanted. So the thrill of feeling like when he's with one, the other one is longing for him, having her tongue hang out, waiting for him, like giving herself up, sacrificing herself for him, even though she knows that she has to share him. That makes him feel so good, so powerful, so strong, so wanted, so important, right? And so much in control of another person's life. With the woman he's originally with, the other woman, shall we say, he's getting tenderness, love, he's getting spoiled, he's getting a feeling of, having his needs met in a home and all the benefits that go with it. But he's also got this other woman that he can go to from time to time and enjoy feeling free, having no obligations, no accountability, but both want him and he wants both. So it's also a way of being in control, of never having to choose, and mostly it's about if one goes bad, you always have the other one, right? And things are going to go bad from time to time. And I have known several people who've existed in this way for many, 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 many years until one of the women get fed up and give the man an ultimatum. You either marry me or we're done. The extra woman. You either leave the other one and come to me or we're done. And so he finds it very hard to have to be in this position and tries his best to make her feel good and, calm her down. Then he goes to the other one and she says, oh, poor you, I'll take care of you. I don't want any, I'm not going to put pressure on you. You can be whoever you want, be free, and so on. So he gets to feel like, once again, he's got someone who can let him do whatever he likes without any accountability and so on, until she starts feeling like, well, I'm not important enough. But there's something else that he gets, which I don't think is very obvious. Imagine the bliss, the ecstasy of feeling that 2 women are fighting over you. And if you have to choose one and give up the other, you're going to lose that. And so there would be no incentive for this guy to choose one over the other. And he genuinely loves both of them. He genuinely enjoys being with them. He genuinely cares about them. And he genuinely takes care of them when he's with them and when he's not, whether it's financial, social, whatever it might be. So the element of having 2 women fighting over you is like indescribable. And how does it start? Well, it starts with your childhood. So these men usually come from families where there are competitive experiences, either between the 2 parents of the child or the mother and a nanny, or the mother and a grandmother. There's always a competition for the child. And if it's a boy child, it's usually with two women. So it's mother and nanny, mother and grandmother, mother and mother-in-law, or whoever it might be. There's always a competition. And so the child never felt that it was okay to be with one. The child was always feeling guilty if he wasn't with one or not the other. He didn't want to tell mommy that he had a better time with grandma. He didn't want to tell grandma that he was missing mom. And so he grew up feeling like he was the center of it all, but also pressured to have to keep choosing to make them feel good all the time. So what does he do when he's an adult? He recreates the same thing. He has two women in his life, and he's trying to please both of them and trying to get his needs met by both of them and never having to choose and having it all. So that's the man side of it. So if he lost one, if he lost the mommy one and he chose the grandma side, or he chose the nanny instead of the mom, whichever way, it's a big loss, and he's not going to feel so important and special anymore. And he's not going to get all his needs met because the different women offer him different things. And the act of being, that they're competing with him, well, there's no better feeling than that. So what about the women now? Why do these women allow themselves to be in triangles knowingly? They know that there's another woman in their man's life. What's in it for them? Well, each one of them have a fantasy of being the chosen one, that one day he will choose them and he will throw the other woman away. So it's not just being chosen, it's the discarding of another woman that makes them stay in this relationship until that happens. They're willing to put up with broken promises, leaving early, not spending enough time with them, taking advantage of them, and all the rest of it, for the hope, the fantasy, the joy of feeling like he chose me and he threw somebody else away, right, for me. It's not that he just chose me, he discarded someone else. That is the most important feature that keeps them in the relationship. If the man never had another woman and there wouldn't be anyone to discard, there'd be nothing in it for these women, because they're just a regular relationship. They don't get the thrill of being chosen and over somebody else, that the man had to give up something that it was of value to him to get them. So what's their history? Why do they want to have these kind of relationships that for years and years and years are miserable and live on this hope of something happening that usually never does? Well, usually in my experience, these women have come from homes where they have not had the attention that they need from their fathers. The father's always choosing life outside. Maybe dad has affairs and he has to choose between his daughter, his wife, and his affair. But in any case, the daughters have not felt loved and chosen and wanted and special by their dads. Their dads have always chosen something else. It could be playing golf. It could be mom and not the daughter. It could be his own mom and not the daughter, but there's always a competitive element in it. And the daughter had to compete all the time to say, hey, look at me, I'm here, don't you want me? What do I have to do to make you want me? What do I have to make you do to see? What do I have to do to make you see that I have something special that the others don't? I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove to you that I'm better than mom in this way. I'm more beautiful, I'm more intelligent, I can get you this, I can do that for you, I can give you a better massage, I can make you better tea, I can cook better lasagna for you. Whatever it is, there's a competition and having to prove that they are better than someone else to get daddy's attention. They never succeeded, and now they're playing it out with an adult male. That's why they go for an unavailable guy, because they want the guy to throw away other people and prove that they're the one, and they want to feel like they have the whatever it is, the the magic touch that's going to make that man choose her. So I hope you found this informative. I hope you can see how unstable it would be if the man dropped one of the women, and that's why the triangle is still alive, right? I hope you get that. And I hope if you're in a triangle like that, you can understand it and then see, try to go from there. Couples counseling, individual counseling. Think about where you're at, why you're doing what you're doing. Don't make it all about your partner not doing their job. Think about what you're doing to stay in that triangle and why it's important to you. And if you have experiences and comments, I'd love to hear them. See you next week with part 6.